Temple Facebook Community Creator Spotlight. I am Jennifer Ashir Ra, and we have an incredible special guest today, Jen Torres, and she is our beautiful creator today and creator spotlight, and she is going to talk about paving your priestess path for as and following according to your human design. And Jen Torres is a sister that has walked with us for few years, started with me in Bali, and she is a human design reader, priestess, and host of She's a God podcast. Welcome, Jen.
Thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to share this space with you and everyone who's watching.
Oh, and beloveds, thank you, Jen. And beloveds, if you have questions as she's starting to talk about her story and about human design, please post in the comments so we can see, and maybe we can have Jen answer anything. You never know what comes through. We are live. And so, Jen, tell me about your story. How did you get started? I know you, but I know there's so much more. And tell me how you became a human design reader and your path really blossomed over the last year or so. So tell me about your story.
So human design is one of many tools that have sort of launched me onto my path in my spiritual journey and sort of helped me to walk this path in a way that's in energetic alignment with the highest timeline of what I'm here to do. And it's all really started many, many years ago, actually. Back in 2001, I was only 15 years old at the time, and I had actually gotten a positive pregnancy test. And I was just really scared, of course, and I didn't know what to do. So I talked to my mom, and my parents were, are awesome, loving, beautiful Christian people. And they helped me so much, and I'm forever in debt to them for the way that they've helped me. But my mom always said, she was like, this is either going to make you or this is going to break you. And that was sort of her like, what are you going to do here now? And, coming from a lower middle class family, I knew right away, I was like, okay, I need to do something because nobody's going to, swoop in and save me from the situation. I got to get my feet on the ground. I got to work really hard, and I need to make something happen here. So I did just that. And for the next, 20 years of my life, I dedicated everything toward raising this beautiful girl and busting my ass to make sure she had everything she needed and all of it. And in that process, in that very 3D matrix-like process, which many women who are watching this right now can relate to being in that space and relate. Jennifer and I have had conversations about this in the past with when she had her fashion business and sort of working herself to the ground, trying to maintain this life, this American dream, right? So that's what I did. I broke my body and my mind, really, and my spirit, trying to create this life. So while I was successful in doing what I did, graduating from high school, raising a child who graduated high school with honors, I went to college for fashion. But by the time I, realized she was old enough to kind of be doing her own thing, it was this moment that I think most moms kind of never forget, this moment where you realize your kid doesn't actually need you as much as you thought they did anymore. And you're sort of like, oh no, like, what am I going to do now? Like, what you sort of have that moment where you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, holy smokes, like I look like hell. And I can't remember the last time I did anything for myself. And you realize that you're not just living for your children, you're also living for yourself. So I sort of went on this holistic health journey. That's actually how it all started. And I realized that I got into meditation, in which almost immediately I experienced like this very strong spiritual Kundalini awakening. And it was so powerful within my energetic body that it was actually very shocking and startling to me, where I knew something happened and something changed in that meditation for me spiritually, but I didn't know what it was. I was very scared because everything was like hypersensitive now all of a sudden. I actually hired a Kundalini coach to like kind of walk me through my spiritual path, because for that first year, because I was really like shook a little bit, like, oh my God, like I was like suddenly awakened to the world and to consciousness in the peak of consciousness. And so for that first year, I was really deep on my spiritual path. And of course, that's when the priestess path automatically came in for me. And it really was this deep inner awakening of who I knew I always was. I always was the little girl who saw spirits and who had lucid dreams, would wake her parents up in the middle of the night telling my mom and my dad about these lucid dreams I was having. And my cousins would still joke to this day about how I see spirits and all of that. I always was that girl. And so when it came full circle for me in that moment where I'm like, oh my God, like this is my path. This is actually who I'm here to be. And I'm here to walk this priestess path. And so I did just that. And that's where along that path, I met Jennifer and we journeyed together into Egypt and Greece and all of these different places, doing the work that we were doing there. And it was just amazing. And on that path, there was this huge other part of it, which was human design for me. And that was huge for me because it was the first time that I had gotten a reading from someone. And of course, we all get readings, right? We all get psychic readings and different kinds of readings. But it was the first time I got a reading from someone where I realized this person was explaining to me my energy in a way that I've always known it to be, but I never talked to anybody about that before because why would you tell someone that like this is how your energy feels with this and that or but she explained it to me and I'm like, "Oh my God, yes." Like this is true and like thank God like I'm not crazy and like this is real for me. So that's when everything kind of opened up in the human design world for me. And I went and I got certified through Jenna Zoe, who's a really sort of infamous human design reader, and got my certification through her and HD Maven and just kept going. And I just blossomed from there. And I continue to do that with my sisters, giving them readings and just continuing to journey, through my priestess path and on my human design journey.
That's amazing. It's so powerful. And, I've seen you. I just want to speak to, because I feel you're one of the most amazing testimonials in our community, how you came in. You would come to every event. You were always on the Zoom in Bali. I saw your name, but you never shared. You never really connected. You were even kind of resistant to your calling, but yet you came and you stayed in that high activated containers and you slowly I started to see postings and you were starting to share a little in your community. And then I see, recent graphics and your hands on your hips and like professional lighting and this you're not recognizable to the woman that I met in Bali only like a year and a half ago. Your trajectory by being in these energy containers and being a yes, even though you kind of dragged yourself, I feel, I it's so remarkable, and this is what a lot of sisters go through is that they're not sure what they're doing or I have visions, but I don't know how to get there, and will I really get there? And I just say is if you just get into high activated containers of light and open those codes within you and just allow your soul to sing, your life will be that vision that you've had. I feel you're living your vision now, Jen. I mean, just knowing you. And I just want to speak to that because this is leadership. March is leadership month. And I feel you went from kind of like cap on, hoodie up, like, what is this? But I'm still going to be here to like, let me change your life with human design. Like, and like, I can, and let me show you who you are. Like, I just feel the change in you is not even, I can't put English words to it. So I just wanted to
Mhm.
give you that beautiful celebration and honor you. And then I want to just have you speak to that. And then I want you to share about human design and paving your priestess path and aligning. But I want to have you speak to your journey because so many are in that liminal space of that journey. And
Mhm.
speak to that because I really want to hear from you. And beloved sisters really would love to hear that as well.
Okay, so I just want to say thank you for honoring me in that way. But I mean, Jennifer has the most patience than anybody I've ever met, because I would do just that. I would literally, I was consistent and I was dedicated. So I never missed an activation. I was always showing up on like the lives and all of the things. But I was so resistant. Like, I literally was like dragging my feet the entire way. And it was only because one thing I feel like people also don't really talk a lot about, whether you're on the priestess path or on a spiritual journey, is that you go through an identity crisis. You literally, there's this part that happens, and it actually consistently happens time and time again. I actually just did an episode about this on my podcast, which is all about, I called it the shedding, because it's literally what it is. It's this consistent shedding and alchemization that takes place
Mhm.
over and over and over again. And just when you think you've reached a certain part where you're like, oh no, I'm done now, I'm ascended and I'm here, it's like all of a sudden, boom, here comes another lesson. Here comes another awakening, and you're like, "Oh my god, like, I'm learning something again." So that's what it really was for me, is I was had my heels in the ground, because I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, it's so hard." Like, it's not the priestess path, the spiritual journey is not for, the weak of heart. It is hard work. And so, and it is this thing that's like, you have to be consistently putting energy toward it and never stopping that growth from continuing to happen. So I honor Jennifer for never giving up on me, because she, no matter what, she always showed me love. I was so like in the corner trying not to like be part of anything but being part of it. And she always was like, oh, welcome, welcome. And just being so loving, like she always is. So yeah, that was a huge part of it for me. That the realization too, that like Jennifer was just saying, the activations are real, the codes are real, the ascension journey is real. And when you get yourself into these spaces where you are opening yourself up to these activations, it is change on a cellular level. You are able to show up in a way that you've never shown up before, because that's what happened to me. I went from like the hooded character in the corner to just being like, okay, this is who I am. But it all happened so naturally. Like, it wasn't like one day I woke up and I decided I was going to show up and serve. It just happen. Like, it was like there was no choice. This is the next obvious thing that I'm going to be doing with
Mhm.
my time. So there is that dedication. There is that just putting yourself in those spaces. And I just want to touch on too, like leadership of light and codes of raw was huge for me. And you know that, like, it was this huge part, this leadership training that I went through, that I was like, whoa, like these are the codes landed in me and woke up something that was in this leadership energy, where I didn't have those fears the same way I did before. Where even a year and a half ago, I probably wouldn't be able to get on here and talk to you the way I am right now, because I just had so much happening in my like shadowy projected side, that I just would be making up reasons why I couldn't come up here and be authentic or have this conversation. Something's going to go wrong. It's going to be bad for you. But now it's just like super easy. I'm just like, okay, let's do this. And so there is something to say about when women circle, and when people come together with this greater intention of activation and moving higher on their ascension journey and on their spiritual path.
Mm,
Mhm.
so beautifully said. And thank you for sharing. And I know, I mean, anyone out there feeling this and like they have doubts or they have huge ideas and visions coming in, and then it's like, how am I gonna deliver that to the world? Oh my gosh, people aren't gonna be ready for that. Oh, I'm too much. I'm too little. All the edit starts coming in, and the like, what are you doing, girl? Like, who do you think you are, girl? And I mean, we as women, we are so easily we edit ourselves within a millisecond. It's a
Mhm.
feminine quality, isn't it? And so I love that you've moved through that, and that you're showing others how to move through that, and you're claiming that in this beautiful space. And so thank you, sister, for all you're
Mhm.
doing. And I want to hear now about how to pave your priestess path according to your human design. So share with us how human design, what it is, and how it helps on your sacred path. How does it really help give a more effortlessness when you can align with your blueprint?
Amazing. So I would love to share more about human design and this beautiful system that was gifted to us. And I just want to say that I feel a lot of spiritual people, a lot of priestesses, a lot of people who walk in the spiritual world kind of know about human design. They sort of have heard about it before and maybe have had a reading before. And so there, a lot of people are familiar with the system. But the thing is, it's so layered and it can feel so complicated that a lot of times when people do get around to even pulling their chart, they can feel very confused by it and like, what does it all mean? And there's these different perspectives on what it means. But this system is actually a system that is comprised of a lot of other modalities that we're familiar with, such as the nine center chakra system, the Kabbalah tree of life, epigenetics, quantum physics, all of these beautiful things that come together to give you your specific energetic blueprint. And what I love so much about human design as well is it's not just the woo happening and talking, it's also very science based. So it talks about the neutrino system, which is, this very tiny particle that's all around us constantly, and it's both light and dark matter, and this, we're being penetrated by trillions of neutrinos all of the time, every second of every day. And that is actually how we are imprinted with our energetic blueprint, similar to astrology. It is astrology, and we get our energetic design from this beautiful blueprint. If you are somebody who maybe isn't familiar with human design and you're kind of like, what is this and how do I like navigate this? There are many ways to start to learn about this. You can literally just Google free human design chart, and you can find websites like Jovian Archive. And Jovian Archive is actually probably the one I would recommend for people who are not too familiar with the system, because it's very simple to read. And all you need is your birth date and your birth location. And for people who don't have their birth time, you need your birth time as well. I always say that you can just play around with it. So most people know if they are born in the morning or in the afternoon or in the evening. I always invite people to, if you don't know your birth time and you're finding that to be a struggle for you, but you really want to know your design, you can always call the hospital you were born. You can talk to friends and family who are people who were around, and they will kind of know maybe like around what time you were born, and then play around with the timing and the system to pull your correct chart. Once you pull your chart, you are able to then see right on the right hand side some of the basic points. And I want to highlight this for people who aren't familiar but want to kind of know more. There's a lot of free information online about this, so you don't have to get a reading right away. You can kind of start to learn about your design just by typing in your energy type and your strategy and your authority. I would recommend starting there with those three things, and you can start to kind of understand how to navigate your energetic blueprint using those three things. And the reason why I bring up those three things particularly is because Ra Uru Hu, who is the founder of human design, always said that if you just know your energy type, your strategy, and your authority, you can navigate. The rest of your chart is going to kind of fall in line. You will be able to live in energetic alignment with your blueprint as long as you know those three things. So I would just recommend starting there and kind of leaning into it that way.
Mm.
And I just want to add that for me personally, the way this has really helped me to have a deeper understanding of how to l- navigate my priestess path, because it can feel rocky, is a huge part of it was just knowing how to work with the energy that's all around us, how to know how to work with the neutrino system, and what it really feels like when it's something is a soul yes for me or not. For example, I am what's called a sacral being in human design, meaning that I have a defined sacral center. So when something feels good to me, I feel excited about it. I feel like expanded toward this thing. And I know that it's a soul yes. So these are just little indications in your energetic blueprint on how it can guide you on your soul path. Another thing I just want to add to that is a huge part of it was learning and understanding my cross of incarnation, which is a deeper part of human design. A lot of people, when they start to learn about their cross of incarnation, they can feel like this might be my life's purpose. But really, I feel like it's more of your energetic theme of your life. So it's kind of the energy that's going to keep popping up for you over and over again on your path. The reason why I bring up the cross of incarnation is because my cross of incarnation is the left angle cross of duality. And so that's important for me to know because I realized that um, in human design, when I look at my chart, and this is another fascinating thing about HD, is that it will tell you everything that is conscious to you and then everything that is unconscious to you. So you're just like, oh my God, yes, like all of the red stuff, you're like, I kind of know that about myself. I've always kind of felt that about myself. But now that I'm seeing it and I'm hearing it, that's totally true for me. So that's what happened to me when I learned about my cross because it told me and it showed me all of my subconscious lines. Now, what's so interesting about this for me is that all of my subconscious lines and the stuff that was kind of unconscious to me are tribal in nature. So I have what's called the connection to tribe and a person who's here to build tribe, soul tribe. I have another bonding channel that's all about making these deep, intimate connections with people. And so all of the stuff that I was made me be that hooded character in the ceremonies in the corner. And I'm like, this isn't my vibe. I'm an individual. All of that stuff, I realized I'm like, oh my God, that's my conscious side. Because all of my conscious channels in human design are about individuality and shining as an individual. So that's what was in the forefront of my mind. All of the stuff that was on the unconscious side of my design was tribal in nature. And it was like, no, 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 honey, you are here to be with sisters. You're here to be in tribe, to be create a tribe, and you're here to be a leader in this tribal space. So
Mm.
that really helped me to see myself and say, okay, like you've always kind of known this about yourself. Your soul lights up with when you're a soul family. Stop lying to yourself and allow yourself to be more open. Allow your heart to open up to something like this because it is true for you. So I just wanted to share that piece because that's just one small part of my design that helped me to see my path and to kind of see my priestess path and be like, you are here to lead circle. You are here to be in tribe. It's not just about you shining as an individual, although that is a big part of it. You're here to do both. That's literally my cross of incarnation is about shining as an individual and as a leader of tribe so that people can see me doing both. And that's when I'm the most magnetic to the life that I truly desire.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing because that's what you're walking right now. And we had a question of that website, the Joe Bean Archive. How do you spell that? Because we had a question from one of our beloveds in the community. How do you spell that so we can
Sure.
go there and get there? And the three things, it was energetic type, authority, and what was the third? The main
So
point.
so the first one is I'm actually typing it just so I can see it because then I can spell it. So Jovian Archive, it's JOV as in Victor, IAN as in Nancy, archive, and then ARCIV as in Victor E.com. So that's Jovian Archive, and you can get your free chart on there.
So it's Jovine Archive at Victor.com.
No, no, no. That's I was just saying V for Victor.
Oh, V for Victor. Jovine Archive.
JovianArchive.com.
.com. That's the website. Okay, great. And then what are the three main points that you said it fast and I only got two, the energetic type and the
Yep.
authority.
The energy type, your strategy, and your authority.
Ah, Can you tell me what the three are, like what they are in your life? So, like these are, I know I'm a manifesting generator. I know you did my reading,
Yeah.
and that I'm gridded to gather people. And you're like, oh, yeah, like you could kind of see, oh, now I can see why she's doing what she's doing because I'm getting inside and seeing the chart. So, yeah, manifesting generator, I definitely that is me. So that is my energetic type, manifesting generator.
Yep.
What does authority mean and strategy? What are those on the
So yeah, so your energy type is there's 5 energy types. There's the generator, the manifesting generator, the manifester, the reflector, and the projector. And then strategy is the way you are designed to use your energy every single day. So as a manifesting generator and a generator, you are here to respond to life, for example, and everybody has a different, or sorry, that is did I say strategy or authority?
strategy?
Strategy. Okay, yeah. So that's your strategy. And then the authority is how you're here to make decisions. So that's probably one of the more fascinating ones to me, too, because we don't really realize a lot of times that our energy is here trying to help us make these bigger decisions in our life by giving us these different signs. So there's many different authorities you can have. I have emotional authority, for example. So I have to sort of ride my emotional wave before I make these bigger decisions. And that's just an example.
Wow, it's so powerful. I know there's certain types that work better, like when you're in leadership. Like if you have a certain type, it's always good to, I find, to surround yourself with the other type that maybe you're not. Like projector isn't my strength, so I love having projectors with me because they go in and they fine tune. I move sometimes a little too fast and I kind of miss some things. And then the projectors are there, like, oh, they're slowing down and they're going inside and they don't miss anything.
They projectors are only like 21 to 22% of the planet, and they are super efficient. So if you are somebody who is a spiritual leader and you are building a team, this is a great way to take a peek at like who brings what in your on your team. And you could actually do that by, you could just search genius report human design, and there's also a website where you can pull someone's genius, which is going to tell you how they can contribute to your team based off of their energy type. And that's some of what we did in Codes of Raw. So, like Jennifer was just saying, someone like a projector is fantastic to come into your business, and they see the way everything can be better, whether it be people, systems, business offerings, programs. They can make everything more efficient very easily. So having a projector on your team is like a necessity, I feel.
I think, I mean, even like when you interview someone, you could ask, what's your human design? And like if you're a manifesting generator like me and it's a more of a supportive role and they're like, I'm a manifesting generator, and like, maybe that won't be the right fit because you're going to want to take over. But if you want someone to run a program or an aspect of your business and you don't really want to be much a part of it, a manifesting generator or generator would be your girl or your guy. So it's a great outline. It's not, of course, everything, but I feel that's a great way when, if you really want to get into hiring the right people or surrounding yourself, because we're doing this as community now in the Aquarian age. You don't walk by yourself anymore. This is a great way. I remember you saying to align with your energy blueprint, to be effortless, like be the beautiful salmon swimming with the water, swimming with the stream of the water. Don't go against the flow of the river by going against who you are, but finding out who you are and flowing with that makes your life just more effortless, and your path more easy and more graceful. Because I feel the priestess path can be more graceful if you are more in alignment and you've healed the wounds and you can just be more in alignment with who you are. These tools help you get there, but it's also your yes to walk with who you truly are. I
Mm.
feel like that's at the center, and I feel like you found that on your path, and your happiness radiance increased by like, 1,000,000% by you stepping into who you're aligned with, that you weren't so ready for that when we met. And I feel like you probably see that in your clients and your community. When they finally get in alignment, like get in that groove, it just, all the clicks go into place.
That's exactly what it is. And that's what's so cool about seeing people who step more into their energetic blueprint is life does become less resistant and more in flow. And it's not just talking spiritually, it's literally science. Like when you're living in energetic alignment with everything around you, everything flows. And that's actually the way that we're designed to live our life is in this energetic flow. But it's only the conditioning, of course, from being a child and all of the things that creates this mindset that we have to do things a certain way in order to be successful or happy or any of these things. And that's what creates the ultimate resistance in our life that brings us to the point of us questioning ourselves. What am I doing? Why am I so tired all the time? Why is everything such a struggle? Well, let's take a look at your energy design and let's see where we can open up greater flow in your life, because we are magnets to the things that our soul is desiring for us. And it's not really meant to be that hard. It's meant to be more in alignment with us, and us living in energetic alignment with all that is.
That is so beautifully said. Wow. And before we close, what is like a one last thing you'd like to leave with our community and on this beautiful priestess path and as a human design reader, what is one thing that is just you'd love to leave with us before we close our beautiful live session?
I think for me, it's just like, don't give up. Don't give up. It's going to get hard. You're going to feel alone. You're going to feel alone even on your path, with the people around you. I mean, you could grow a huge spiritual community. Things can happen and all of a sudden you feel alone again. I mean, it's a constant, like I was mentioning earlier, that shedding, that alchemization, it's continual. It never gets to a place where we're done and we've arrived, right? So I would say for me, the biggest thing for me, the biggest realization has been don't give up. Like just keep going, keep doing what you know is lighting you up from the inside. Trust that you're making the decisions that are in the highest alignment for your soul and everything that you're here to create, and just keep going.
So beautiful. And how can people reach you? And you have a free gift, a free offer for our community. And how can people reach you, Jen?
Oh my gosh. So the best way to reach me is on social, unless you want to email me, which is also a great way people do it, which is just hello@she'sagod.com. All of my handles on social media, Facebook and Instagram, are at this is Jen Torres, Torres. And then I have a special link for everybody here in Light Priestess Temple Community, which gives you $50 off of a reading with me. And I have given Jennifer that link. I could also send it to you if you still need it. But that is sort of just my gift to you guys, and to just say, keep going, keep shining your light, keep doing what you love, keep connecting with, women like Jennifer, and just keep doing exactly what you know you're here to do.
And the caption is above. So the link, beloveds, is right above for her free link. And reach out, get a human design reading if you don't have your energy blueprint yet. And it really helps you see who you are at the soul level. And it's just another way to kind of fine tune your self knowledge and your self mastery, as all the ancient mystery schools were all about know yourself and self mastery. And it's just one more tool, and a really powerful one, as we are opening this new Divine Feminine Leaders Mastery Certification training in a few days, and opening. And this is the new codes are coming in. And so it's calling in for new leadership. And this could be a beautiful way for you to open that within yourself. And I thank you, Jen. I've learned so much today, and I've been like when my head's down, I've been like writing what you've been sharing, because I love that those 3 points, and I love that website, to have beloveds go to that Jovine website. So I thank you, sister, and I thank you for the work you're doing in the world, and your growth, and your yes to your soul, and your soul path, and your radiance that you are giving to the planet now, and all that you always have. And I send you so much love. I thank you, beloveds, for joining us. Join us the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month for Creator Spotlight here at Light Priestess Temple Facebook Community. And we're opening this next level for the new leaders and the new priestesses and wayshowers for the new golden age. This is the Community of Light. And I'm Jennifer Ashira, and I will see you next Creator Spotlight. And I send you so much love and blessings, beloveds. We will see you soon. Much love. And activate your highest codes. And thank you, Jen.